Ladies and gentlemen, friends and family, Hall of Famers, tournament officials, and key Wizards personnel, welcome to the induction ceremony for the 2016 class of the Magic the Gathering Pro Tour Hall of Fame. I'm Brian David Marshall. I'm the Pro Tour historian, and one of my jobs is to oversee this ceremony every year, and it's one of the great pleasures that I have working on the Pro Tour to do this. And it's always amazing to see such a concentration, well, theoretically I can see you, to see such a great concentration of the best players from throughout the history of the game gathered in one spot to welcome new members into your fold. This year's class of the Hall of Fame is small, but both players have made the most of their decade on the Pro Tour. They are both on a very short list of multiple-time Player of the Year winners, a list that includes only them and Kai Buddha. Like Kai, they have achieved single name recognition status as well. They are two of the most intimidating opponents to sit across the table from, with stern game faces, but they also have two of the most radiant smiles on the Pro Tour when they're hanging out with their family and friends. They love to play the game the right way, and they love the people they play the game with. Both players are entering into the Hall of Fame in their first year of eligibility, and it hardly seems like it can be 10 years since they debuted. I have distinct memories of first becoming aware of both of these players before their first Pro Tour appearances. I will leave it to you to figure out which story pertains to which player. Back when Japan was first showing themselves to be a Magic superpower, I would often check in with Japanese coverage reporter Keita Mori about the new faces on the Japanese Magic scene. He told me of a promising top 2 competitor from the finals, a prestigious Japanese year-end standard event, who had qualified multiple times for the Pro Tour but had chosen not to go. He was not sure he was ready to wade into battle against the likes of John Finkel and Kai Buddha. Plus, he was only in high school at the time. The other I first became aware of midway through day 1 of Grand Prix Columbus in 2007, when he played against my good friend Steve Sadin. Steve had been away from Magic for a while and was playing a complicated legacy format Flash Hulk deck. And he had won multiple rounds just by playing Protean Hulk off of Flash and having his opponents concede without making him go through the motions. But he hadn't played with the deck very much and really didn't know how it worked. He played against his future Hall of Famer, put Protean Hulk into play, put it in the graveyard, and kind of waited for his opponent to concede. And he said, "How about you show me how the combo works first?" Steve didn't win that match. It really does seem like it was just yesterday. And ladies and gentlemen, without any further ado, it is my profound pleasure to introduce to you the 2016 class of the Magic the Gathering Pro Tour Hall of Fame. The United States' Owen Turtenwald made his Pro Tour debut at PT Valencia 2007. He was playing for top 8 in the late rounds and finished 18th to start his Hall of Fame career. He was coming off a finals appearance at Grand Prix Columbus, the first of a dizzying 21 Grand Prix top 8 finishes.
He's definitely one of probably 5 or 6 people that when I sit across from him, I feel outclassed, and that's rare. But he's just very good at playing the games, choosing decks, drafting. He's just a well-rounded player.
His Grand Prix dominance is highlighted by 4 wins, including back-to-back weekends in Washington, D.C. and Albuquerque, and a win alongside Reed Duke and William Jensen as Peach Garden Oath. Enter the Battlefield, a documentary that featured Turtenwald, chronicled his determination to succeed and the friendship that is the backbone of Peach Garden Oath.
I've had the good fortune to play Team Grand Prix alongside Owen, and I can tell you there's no safer, more secure feeling than knowing that Owen is playing your deciding match for you. We even won Grand Prix Portland in 2014 together as a team.
In 2011, buoyed by a record-setting 7 Grand Prix top 8 finishes, Turtenwald sat alone atop the Pro Field as the Player of the Year. His first of 4 Pro Tour top 8s came during Pro Tour Gatecrash, but none of them were more memorable than him squeaking into the elimination rounds of Pro Tour Magic 2015 on the narrowest of tiebreakers.
He sort of had himself convinced he was out of it. He had gone 12-4 and it was going to be on tiebreakers, but everybody was telling him Jeremy Desani was going to get in. And his reaction when Scott called him in 8th place of galloping up to the we call it the Seabiscuit, that's what we refer to it now. Owen galloping up to the stage, screaming, gave me a big hug. That's probably my favorite memory of Owen on the Pro Tour.
Incredibly, we may still not have seen the best of Turtenwald.
I mean, he's been the best player in Magic for probably about the last 3 years or so. You know, there aren't really very many people in the history of Magic, you know, they can claim to be sort of the consensus best player in Magic. You know, Owen's one of, you know, maybe a half dozen people who have that claim.
Just this past season, the Team Pantheon member made the finals of the World Championship.
Played him in the semifinals of the World Championships last year, and you know, I felt like that was my tournament. You know what I mean? I felt like that was the one that I was going to win, and it wasn't very long into game one before I started to get some second thoughts. You know, that he's the kind of guy who can make you second guess and lose your self-confidence very quickly because of how assured he is and how much he knows exactly what's going to happen.
He also notched his 4th Pro Tour top 8 and earned his 2nd Player of the Year title, putting him in an elite class of players to win that trophy twice.
This year, Owen had close to the best season any Magic player has ever had.
Ladies and gentlemen, from the United States, Owen Turtenwald.
So I wrote this speech on the flight here. I didn't know what I was going to say until it was in the forefront of my mind, but I'm going to say, recently in tournament coverage and on social media, I've had the opportunity to see newer, younger players say that they looked up to me. They wanted to emulate what I did, both because I was a really good player and because of the way that I treated my opponents and the way that I conducted myself. So for me, that was an especially meaningful compliment to receive. And I also wanted to thank everyone who's here today, Magic players who are playing in the Pro Tour tomorrow, who are sacrificing the time that they could be spent preparing. They want to spend that time here honoring me and my family, who also made a sacrifice of their time to fly really far and see this happen. That's pretty amazing as well. Magic the Gathering is the best thing that's ever happened to me. Playing a lot of Magic taught me the meaning of ambition, dedication, sportsmanship, hard work, and self-confidence. I want to especially thank Reed Duke, William Jensen, Brock Parker, Luis Scott Vargas, John Finkel, and every member of the Pantheon. Not only are all you guys world-class Magic players, but you've each helped me become a better player and a better person. I'm being inducted today in large part because of my achievements in tournaments. And I'm certain without each one of you guys that those achievements would have never happened. The friendships I've made are incredible. And the people I mentioned are the most generous, kind-hearted, good-natured people, decent human beings that I've ever met. I'm extremely fortunate and grateful to be in this position, and I hope that everyone is able to find something in their life that gives them as much satisfaction and fulfillment that Magic has given me. Thank you.
Japan's Yuya Watanabe debuted at Pro Tour Yokohama in 2007 after winning Grand Prix Kyoto to qualify. He had trepidation about playing at the Pro Tour level, but once he got there, he not only succeeded beyond his own expectations, but thrived.
僕、渡辺さんの後発のプレイヤーということで、渡辺さんの背中を見て育ってきたような形ですね。渡辺さんのそのプレイヤーとしてのそのプレイングスキルだったり、ドラフトの技術だったりとかを近場で教えてもらったりとかして非常に感謝していますし、 プロプレイヤーとしてのその、紳士的な立ち振る舞いとかも、すごい参考になるところが多いなと思っていますんで。
Despite a modest finish at that PT, he would end that debut season as the 2007 Rookie of the Year.
グランプリ優勝から例えばね中村修平さんと一緒にチーム戦というかトゥーヘッドジャイアントですかね一緒に出て、彼と、そのルーキーを取るために頑張るってことだったりそれ以降はプレイヤーオブジイヤーですか取ったり。
He would complement that trophy with a Player of the Year trophy in 2009 on the back of his first Pro Tour top 8 at PT Austin.
2009年の日本選手権の後かな、彼と僕とで決勝戦を戦ったのですが、その後僕の家でずっと M10 のシールドを2人で遊んでたんですよ。でその1ヶ月後くらいかな、リミテッドの GP があったのですが、そこから彼がめちゃくちゃ勝ち出していや気がついたらそれが1年間続いて彼が POI になったっていうそれがもう印象的ですね。
Over the last decade, Watanabe made the top 8 of 24 Grand Prix with a total of 6 wins.
2012, I think, Yuya Watanabe just won every single GP in Asia. We among the Asian players play group, we have a hashtag for never beat Yuya because he just won 3 Asia GP in the row. So
At the Pro Tour, he reached the top 8 2 more times, including a finals finish at Pro Tour return to Ravnica, but there were more trophies on his horizon. Watanabe joined Kai Buda as the only players at the time to win the Player of the Year trophy more than once, when he repeated at the end of the 2011-2012 season.
He passes, to me, the biggest test for a prospective Hall of Famer, which is when the best players in the world go to the pairings board and they look across and see who they're going to play, and they see Yuya, they say, oh no, not Yuya, anybody else but Yuya. He consistently outplays the best players in the world and has done so for the last 5-7 years.
He won the first ever Players' Championship, defeating countryman and fellow Hall of Famer Shota Yasuoka in the finals.
I remember that Shota Yasuoka, another Hall of Famer, destroyed the tournament. He had like 1 loss, everyone else had 5. And then Yuya finally stopped him in the finals and became the first new world champion in a year in which he had already effectively been the Player of the Year. He had the most pro points. So that was really, I think, his crowning achievement. He was basically world champion twice that year.
Consistency and dominance have been the hallmarks of his career, and over the last half a decade, he is the only player to compete in all 5 of Magic's elite World Championship tournaments.
今回は世界選手権のイベントの会場でこの話してるんですけれども、彼だけがこの5年間連続世界選手権個人戦参加されているってことも素晴らしいです。だからやっぱり日本を代表するプレイヤーっていうのは思います。
Ladies and gentlemen, from Japan, Yuya Watanabe.
It's like a difficult game. That's what I thought when I first heard about Magic. Then I played it and thought this game is challenging, complex and fun, little by little. I was completely drawn under its spell. I have been under the spell of Magic for 16 years now. It is no longer just a game to me. It has been my best friend for more than half of my life. It's been my side through all my good times and all my bad times. I cannot imagine my life without it. Today, I feel a deep sense and a pride, achievement, in receiving this great honor. However, it won't stop me from working to become a better player. I will not stop until the day I get the Pulsar Trophy. I would like to thank the greatest game Magic and all its fans. Thank you.
Ladies and gentlemen, the 2016 class of the Magic the Gathering Pro Tour Hall of Fame.